Where's my start off music? I don't have any. I like to kind of sing and make something up for you. All right, so I know it's been a long time, right? This is Yadita Span, and you are now listening to Real Talk with Yadita. This is your podcast host. It's been a while. So much has happened, right? I just needed to come on and talk to you. Now, for those of you who are listening for the first time, realize this. This is not the perfect podcast with, the sound sounds great and the microphone is up. I'm just on here and I'm going to talk to you. Been thinking a bit. I'm sure you have too. Since the last time I came on, we're dealing with things that we might not fully understand, but it's here. And that does happen in life, right? There are things we experience. We just don't understand where some of the things we go through come from. They come from out of nowhere. But we learn to adapt with the situation. And I was thinking about how, I don't know about you, but when I was working at my job, I was working as a chaplain in the hospital. And somebody told me I was acting like a perfectionist. I don't want to say I was one. I was acting like a perfectionist. And I used to get a little upset when things didn't go the way that I wanted them to go. If I didn't, get the project 100% right or, whatever it was, I would just kind of be like, oh my gosh, and start to feel sad and all of these things over this project that needed to be done. And believe me, I worked very hard, very, very hard, trying to make things happen. But one day my boss kind of pulled me to the side and said, listen, you do a great job, but you cannot be a perfectionist. You have to lighten up a little bit. And I started to tell myself that because the frustration that I was feeling every time I felt I didn't get it 100% right, to tell you the truth, it really didn't make any sense because who's perfect? I like to say God is perfect, not me by any means. And so I learned how to focus more on operating in the spirit of excellence. And doing that kind of took the weight off of me and my imperfections or my human ability or my human strength. And I was able to place it instead on God and say, I want to focus on doing things with excellence. But the best way for me to do that is to trust on and in God and his wisdom and his strength and his power. And all of that I was doing, it kind of reminds me of now. I was focusing on things that weren't really, of course you want to do a great job, right? But some of those things were really not all that important. The important things were getting the job done. I loved I still love great customer service. I have even stopped using a particular company or bank or what have you if I noticed that the customer service just was whacked out. It wasn't any good. And so customer service is important to me, and how we treat each other is important to me. Now, in the space that we're in nowadays, I think a lot of us are realizing what we thought was so important, and some people are realizing whatever they thought was going to be that staple in their life or that thing that was never going to change actually did. Things happen and things do change. I feel like this period of time is allowing us to look at what's important: our family, our children, our health, our rest, caring even for ourselves and for others. Why do I say that? Because I don't know about you, but when I was at my 9 to 5, this was after the hospital, let me tell you the things we used to do. You might know about this. I would go into work early. I would, drop my daughter off at school, go into work early, um, skip lunch, work a little late, and do that day in and day out. And then, go home and have to be a mom and, cook dinner and go over homework and get my daughter in the bed. And I don't know about your children, but some children like to stay up a bit late. They don't just turn off just like that. They want to stay up late. And so you do that constantly, day in and day out, and you just keep going and really don't take time out for yourself. We're not machines. We need to be rejuvenated. We need to be, what's the word, like strengthened. And we need moments, just where we can relax or where we can sit quietly. And just, when I say meditate, I mean focus on God. Sometimes not even say anything, but just sit quietly so that we can be replenished after we've given so much at work, after we've taken time to speak to clients and taken time to listen to our coworkers and taken time, if you're an introvert, to put yourself out there, and then like, oh gosh, I need a break, right? I have to sit back. Like, that's the funny thing. If you're looking at some of the posts where the introverts are kind of like, listen, yeah, we're in quarantine, but this is my element. But for the extroverts, you see the posts that say, please check on us. We are not okay. What about you? What are you? Introvert, extrovert? I'm an introvert, but there are times when I have seemed like an extrovert. When I'm up there, when I was singing, or if I was speaking, doing a motivational talk or what have you, you wouldn't know that I was an introvert. Yeah. What about you? How are you doing with all of this? I hope you're okay. I hope you're not losing it. I know it just seems like there's a lot of noise right now. Like I like to tell people, my voice will put you to sleep. I think it's a gift. I feel like I said that before. It's nothing that I take and say, oh, this is too bad. No, at this hour, I don't think that I should come on here screaming like Crazy Eddie, right? Do you remember Crazy Eddie? I'm dating myself. That was, they had some store or something and they were like, you can get it at Crazy Eddie's, So funny. But either way, I come on and I'm relaxed because I don't want you to be feeling excited in this moment when I don't know where you're at though. Who knows? Maybe you're just waking up. But if it's time for you to get ready for bed, I don't want you to feel like I'm yelling, I'm hollering at you, telling you to get your life together now. And yes, there are times when I'm in prayer, when it may get a little loud or a little soft. It all depends. It all depends. But are you focusing on what's really important, not being a perfectionist? Many people are not even able to go to work right now. It's the essential workers out there. And believe it or not, I feel like all of us are essential. If you're a parent, you are essential. If you work in the store, you are essential. Doctors, nurses, teachers, you're essential. I think everyone is essential in one way or another. I think it's like, that's how the world does. It categorizes people and puts them into these, categories. And these are the important. And believe me, I'm thankful for people who have studied to be doctors and nurses. That's not a field I wanted to go in. I just, not knocked out about bodily fluids like that. I'm just saying. All right. And I had the opportunity to go to college for free. They were my coworkers. They were older than me and they were just like, come on, Yadira, just do it. We'll take you. We'll take you up to this college. It was Hunter College. We'll take you to Hunter College and you don't have to do anything but just go to school, like do the work. And I like school. I like learning. But the minute I thought about the fluids, I was like, no, screech. Didn't do it. But that's important for those who who are called to do that, who wanted to study to do that. That's important that we have those, but it's just as important, mom, for you to be there to cook for your child or your children, to get them in the bed, to hug them at night, to let them know that you're there and that they're safe, even if sometimes you don't feel like you are safe or you're concerned about what's happening in this world. But you still take your babies and you take them and you hold them, and the same thing for dad. You know, you being there for your family when they don't really get it and they're looking to you as their covering, or God is the ultimate covering for us, but looking to you because you're the protector. And sometimes you may not feel like you're being protected, but you're still essential. Mom, you're essential. Even our children are essential. They play a role in our lives. They are our blessings. I don't know about you, but sometimes our children are the ones who help us to laugh, or sometimes help us to cry, lets us know that we have emotions. Yeah, like they show us that we are human. I think that's what gets some parents frustrated, because you can go to work and you can do your best, right? It's like you see people now who are they're doing schooling at home. It's not quite homeschooling. I know that that's a word that's being used, but it's a bit different. It may change nonetheless, but they're doing schooling at home. And so, even in that, I think people have a different level of respect. I know they do, for teachers and stay-at-home moms. Remember that time when the stay-at-home moms, people were like, that's nothing. They get to stay at home. I have to go and do all the work. Well, the people who are now home with their children who weren't with them before are literally probably screaming. If they're not leaning as strong on the Lord as they possibly could, they're probably taking a few more drinks. I think we're seeing those type of posts coming up too. Because it's different, like when you're home, but these are our children. And I know the thing about it is that we wish that they would bend like a piece of paper, right? We wish that we could push the buttons just like on a Xerox copier, and it just, you put in what you want and it gives you what it wants. Not like that with kids all the time. Some people, it may be that way with them, but I'm talking about the majority. It's not like that. They have their own mind, and there are things that they do and that they want to do, whereas a parent, you just don't get to say, sit down, get up, stand up, be quiet, go over here, don't move, right? Go to sleep right now, wake up right now. It's not like that. They're not robots. They're children. They have feelings. They have emotions. Their brains are still developing. And so there are times when they will respond in a way that we may say, when I was your age, I would never do anything like that, right? But what's really important is that these are our blessings. They're our children. And we get to take care of them, to help to teach them, to help to guide them so that they can make better choices, even if they don't make the best choices now. But we will have put something inside of them, some wisdom, some story, some lesson that they can look back at when they get older and remember, or maybe not when they get older, even while they're younger. And so, focusing on what's important is saying, yes, when I was at work, I could accomplish this, and I know I did a great job. But sometimes when you're raising a child, you question, am I doing a great job? Or it doesn't seem like it right now, because we want those instantaneous results, the microwave special. And life is just not like that. It's not